2015, the average cost of an MRI scan in the U.S. was $1,119. But it was only
I did one for free
in Australia. Spain, about $181.
I could have sworn my insurance
and our
company
healthcare system is so inefficient that we spend over a third of our cost on administration. The United States spends significantly more on administration than we spend on preventative or long-term health care. That's just not smart. Okay, we get it. We all know that American healthcare is so much more expensive, you say, but that's the cost of having the freest freedom in God's favorite country. Well, guess what? Medical procedures that are totally free in Britain, like giving birth, cost tens of thousands of dollars in the United States. I mean, you want to talk about the cost of freedom. Sadly, because of these high costs, Americans often avoid going to the doctor, something almost half the population say they do. With shoddy or non-existent health insurance.
Bro, I just admitted to that, bro. I think like a few weeks ago, I had a cold. I mean, honestly, bro, you shouldn't go to the hospital for a cold. No one does. Just stay home, take a little nap, and you'll be fine. Nobody ever goes for like the flu or any of that. So yeah, you're just a little kid, a little princess if you're whining about the cold. What should you go to the hospital for? I don't know. Honestly, it's all a scam. If you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Spoiler alert. Let's see, maybe you should go if you... I don't know what would send me to the hospital, honestly. Maybe if I'm not breathing, maybe that. Aside from that, everything else, I'll try to handle. If I won't die the next day, I'll stay home.
So Americans will wait until their conditions force them into the emergency room where treatment is far more expensive. Again, not a smart system.
Yeah.
Quite often, they end up putting off medical visits and dying. Susan Finley, a 53-year-old Walmart employee in Colorado, got pneumonia and took one day off of work beyond what Walmart's policy allows. So of course, Walmart's gonna Walmart, which they did by firing her. Without her job, she lost her nominal health care coverage, she struggled to find new work, and after avoiding a visit to the doctor for flu-like symptoms, she was found dead in her apartment. When Americans do manage to get treated,
that's pretty bad.
They frequently can't afford it. Simple, life-saving treatments can cost tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's why you have to be
rich. If they don't have really good insurance, they're forced to take on medical debt. Tens of millions of Americans owe medical debt, often into the tens of thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, in a country like Britain or Norway, medical debt is almost unheard of. But hey, that's why GoFundMe is such a critical component of American healthcare. 1 in 3 GoFundMe campaigns is now for medical bills. I'll repeat that. 1 in 3 GoFundMe campaigns is now for medical bills. America is such a strong, powerful, rich, and great country that its citizens have to beg strangers on the internet for money so they can get life-saving treatments that are free in the rest of the developed world. But hey, that's just healthcare. Americans get terrible deals wherever.
That is healthcare.
Let's take work, for example. Americans work longer hours than people in any other rich country in the world, and that's not because they enjoy sleep deprivation and not seeing their families for days at a time. It's because they don't want to starve, or freeze, or die. See, America has the least generous job support programs, the least generous family benefits, and the least generous unemployment benefits of any wealthy country. It's one of the only countries on Earth that doesn't guarantee paid time off for vacations. It doesn't even help provide paid time off for parents who just had a child. And it's not coincidental that we're also one of the most hostile countries to workers' rights. America has one of the lowest unionization.
Yeah, I love this animation. Yeah, but in all honesty, what he said is true. I won't even go in depth about that stuff. But hey, I don't know. You can't really... you just gotta be rich. If you're rich, life is easy anywhere, but it's easier here if you're rich. That's why everybody's trying to be rich. That's why you gotta be rich. But but that's pretty wild. Like, imagine giving birth and you gotta go to work the next day. Yeah, I'd be mad too. I'm glad I don't give birth. That would just make me mad too. I guess I guess being a man
rates in the
benefits me
entire
in a way.
world. Maybe this deprivation, our refusal to give people the means to lead a good, dignified life commensurate with how rich our country is, can explain a bit of what we've seen in the United States over the last few decades. Fraying communities, rising rates of depression and suicide, huge numbers of deaths from drug overdoses. These so-called deaths of despair, suicide, drug overdoses, alcoholic liver disease, they're one big reason why American life expectancy has actually started to decline over the last few years. And with such poor conditions, it's not a surprise that poverty is so rampant in the United States. America devotes a smaller percentage of spending on social welfare than any other industrialized...
Oh, yo, I heard in New York they're building these, they've already built them, these ramps. Homeless people would fall asleep on like chairs or something like that. Then they built or on the ground or something. I might be saying it wrong, but they built these ramps where like you can't sleep. It's like holes and like, it's just like, they're just built to stop homeless people from sleeping on the streets. That's all. They're like, go somewhere else. And that's pretty wild to me. But honestly, yeah, even the winter, sometimes I go outside and it's freezing and I'm like, yo, somebody's really out here sleeping. Cold, freezing to death. Life is crazy, man. Life isn't fair. Hey, and nothing I say would change. Everybody loves money. The profits they get from all this stuff is so good that they can't stop it. No one's gonna stop this. I can't magically be president and stop. Nah, nope. They'd probably kill you off if you do that
because, say it with me, socialism is evil.